Hi guys, welcome back to An African Eye. I'm Ash Appleton. Over the course of season 1, I've been getting questions, so today I'm going to try and answer some of them. So, first one up. This one's from the House of Wilden. What is your take on interior design? Wow, that's quite a question. Personally, I think interiors have to be functional and beautiful, and they should meet the needs of the people who live there. So it's quite a personal issue. It's about what you need your space to do for you. And I've been talking about this over the season. It's about personality. Your space has to say something about who you are, what you like, where you live. I'm Kenyan, I live in Nairobi, proudly African, and my interior says this. So for example, if you live in maybe, Lagos or Lusaka, wherever, why have you got a Japanese water feature in your house? Maybe if you want to have a water feature like this, why not think about how you can take elements of that and sort of localize them so that you're combining the best of both. That's what I think about when I talk about adding personality and putting your stamp about where you live. Question number 2 from Blanken Home. What interior style do you gravitate towards? I would describe my style as African modern eclectic, and I talked about this in episode 2, so go over and have a look there and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So my style is vibrant, it's colorful, it's modern, it's about using what I find locally. So there's a lot of African art and handicrafts, but also put a few traditional elements to break it up. So that's what I mean by African modern eclectic. Question number 3 from Lisa Waithera. Are any of the pieces you use to style your home or other spaces thrifted? And fave thrift shop in Kenya? Thanks for that question, that's quite interesting. I have a few thrifted pieces that I use to break up the modern look of my interior. But I wouldn't say they were super cheap in terms of thrifting. And I think that's a space that we need to sort of explore more, especially here in Kenya. If you go into some of these Facebook groups like Nairobi Expats or Kilimani Mums, people put up stuff that they're selling, and this could be a very good place to collect and things that are reasonably priced. But I think we need to develop this space in Kenya. And also now the flea markets are coming up, so that could be a place also to look for stuff. I know there's one in Karen that's just started, but generally I don't have as many thrifted pieces as I would like. Question number 4 from Wazozuri, and there are actually 3 questions in this question. So the first part of the question is, what's your opinion about fake flowers and plants? Honestly, I don't love fake flowers because they always look fake. Unless you're going to spend a lot of money to get silk flowers, what's the point? So why not just put some money aside and say, I'm going to treat myself to a bunch of roses every week. In Nairobi, you can get roses for 150 shillings, a bunch of roses at $1.50. That's less than a cup of coffee. So think about that. If you're going to get fake, as I say, they should look realistic, and they usually don't. What I do as well, I have some dried flowers, and they can last for 6 months to 8 months. So that's a nice sort of in between. If you don't want to spend money on fresh and you can't afford the really good quality fake, think about dried flowers. The second part of the question is, what flowers and house plants do you recommend? Personally, I just buy what I like and what colors speak to me in terms of flowers. I don't have green fingers. My plants die. So I go for succulents like cacti because they're quite hardy and they don't need a lot of attention. And how do you keep your roses fresh? Do they last longer than a week? Obviously in the hot season, flowers are not going to last that long. But what you can do is make sure you cut them, the stems on a diagonal, and then put a bit of maybe Sprite or sugar and a bit of bleach in the water, and that actually keeps them, alive a bit longer. Question 5 from Johnson_13. Rugs, how do they make or change a space? I like this question, it's really good. If you go to episode 6, I talk about zoning, and this is a really good way of zoning a space. That means creating mini rooms within a bigger room. So if you can do this with rugs quite easily by having different types of rugs. You can have like maybe a cowhide in the living area and like a sheepskin or a wool rug in the dining area. And this immediately signals a change of space, a change of use. So rugs are great for this. I know rugs add texture, especially if you've got a hard floor, they break up the space as well. So that don't overlook them, and they also bring the scheme together. You can use the rugs to tie in all the elements that you have in your home, the different colors. So you pick a rug that has the colors that reflect your interior. So, and you can play around with them. There's so much you can do, but make sure you get the right size rug. The mistake a lot of people make is using a rug that's too small for the space. So think about this. Get the biggest rug to fit the space you have. Question 6 from Wihaki Gitao. What should you look for when purchasing a TV stand? Well, I've talked about TVs in episode 6 and making sure they don't dominate the scheme. So personally, I think TV stands are usually really ugly. So try and look for the one that's not ugly. What else can I say? Or, may have one made. The best thing is probably to have one made so that it fits into your interior seamlessly and doesn't stand out. The ones you buy in the TV shops are usually not nice. So just try and look for one that's nice. And question 7, it's from It's Ogada. Bohemian or Scandinavian interior, got a favorite? Well, I love interiors. I'm crazy about interiors. They may not reflect my style, but I still always look for inspiration in whatever interior it is. If it's between the two, probably Bohemian, because it reflects more of me, more eclectic, because I take bits from everywhere, and that's what my style's about. So, and Scandinavian tends to be more minimalist and more sort of neutral colors, which is not really me. So to answer your question, Ogada, definitely Bohemian. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for the questions. I'll be doing another one of these question and answer sessions in the future. So if your question didn't get answered today, I will get to it next time. Like this video, share, subscribe, tell your friends, ping the notification button, and I'll see you soon.